Alright, as I've said in the past, the key to not being disappointed is low expectations, so we're heading into this one with a little bit of temperament. We've got a Esper control shell with Smothering Tithe, Treasure Map, and Karn, and Revelin Witches as a potential win condition at some point. Fragabo, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Can you put this towards flooping some pigs? Does that mean Glacial brand, or is there a specific pig you'd like to see flooped? Either way, let me know. I'd be happy to get it added. Alright, let's, basically Esper control with Smothering Tithe, Revelin Witches with a Banefire as another way to leverage having lots of clues. So, there's probably a good chance that this is just bad Esper control. We're gonna see if maybe we can make Smothering Tithe do stuff. Does Cry work with Revel? Cry does not work with Revel, actually. Cry exiles, and Revel says they need to die. Red Haring, thanks for checking in with that Twitch Prime support. I appreciate it. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I don't know, dude, like, the blue-red treasure deck did 4-0 this morning to start, so the bar for pressure on these treasure decks has been set pretty high. Esper and Mist land drops. Name a more iconic duo. That's why I told you to stop winning. This deck's got a reasonable plan against aggro here. I think I can actually afford to cut Chemist's Insight in this matchup. I have plenty of other card advantage. Give this a go. Oh, Lyra too. Let's do this. You have a purple crown, Nivik. You are the only purple crown, I believe. And Anner's the only teal. I'm colorblind. Everything is gray. It's all gray. Gray, gray, gray. Well, the crowns are not donations. The crowns and the gems are the bit badges for cheering bits. So the shield, horses, maps. Those are duration based. Alright, I think based on the context of this hand, I can probably keep Gutter Bones off the table for a while and like prevent them from dealing more damage to me. So I'm gonna try and do that. Just like kill their first play, kill their second play. Brutal. At least we drew a relevant 2-mana play. And 3-mana play in a way. Treasure Map Karn, the glue that holds jank decks together. Cumulative variance is getting us lands this game, exactly. You understand. Rune Raider. That's scary. Looking for a sweeper here at this point. Yikes. Alright. I mean, I guess that blocks. It doesn't block Spawn of Mayhem, though. Great. One Kaya's Wrath, please. Even Kaya's Wrath doesn't do a lot for us. Because, like, they still have so many cards in their hand. Maybe I'm supposed to keep Teferi because he's a distraction. Because it's a 5-mana enchantment that doesn't impact the board? Yeah, I agree, Dude Light. Cards that don't impact the board are a hard sell. There's a lot of Timmy style enchantments that just don't impact the board that are a tough sell in Standard right now. That's actually pretty close, Nivik. Your crown and name match almost exactly. Alright, 2 shots at Kaya's Wrath. Get a draw step and a treasure cove. How we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks on this channel. We usually change decks every 60 to 90 minutes, so we get a lot of variety here. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. Quip provides wonderful, affordable, quality electric toothbrushes. If you check them out using link bit.ly/HugoQuip, you'll get your first refill kit of an extra brush head, toothpaste, and battery for free. Also, if you sign in at that link using your Twitch account, you can bump a deck in my deck queue by 25 points as a thank you for checking out the sponsor. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directed to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You could upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. I'm gonna head back on in to this next match here with Esper Treasures. See if we can make Revel and Riches do its thing. Poke it with a stick, just like, do the thing. Do the thing. Alright, none of our cards impact the board. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Tezzeret's a sweet idea. The Tezzeret Karn treasure map package is very reasonable. Those 3 cards together is a big part of why the blue-red deck we just played was decent. Smothering Tithe is probably pretty funny against the Phoenix deck, huh? They tend to draw a lot of cards. Morning, Joe. Yeah, money. If I wanted to sleeve a 75 card, if I wanted to double sleeve a 75 card deck, I would need to buy 300 sleeve packages. You need 200 sleeve packages, one of perfect fits and one of normal sleeves. I'm supposed to crack this to get this treasure map flipped ASAP, because I think we're going to have plenty of treasure. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. All right, well. I think I need better than cast down, huh? Think we need a Kaya's Wrath? I mean, I'd kind of like an Absorb, but I need Absorb after I Kaya's Wrath. I wonder if I'm supposed to draw the Absorb and then scry before I draw with the Treasure Cove. I believe we're on the 0 outer, right?
Let's slow this down. We need to move quickly.
Yeah, we're dead. I don't know if Hostage Taker is good in this matchup. It's probably not. Yeah, there's only 2 Kaya's Wrath in this deck, which has just been like we're two games in a row where it's just like we've cut cards like Kaya's Wrath from traditional Esper control to like fit in kind of memes, and the memes have not been helpful in winning. Oh. We've got our sweepers. We got a Smothering Tithe. It's just like we drew it up, basically, right? I elected not to use my treasure map there because I wanted to cast Smothering Tithe this turn. And we drew some of our copies of just like the traditional good Esper control cards this game, right? Maybe we have a shot. I mean, Endo, at the end of the day, the actual answer is we should just play Esper control. So again, some of the decks we play on this channel have the goal of trying to be competitive and optimizing, and some of the decks like this one we're just trying to do the cute thing to see if the cute thing is feasible. So we're gonna get to draw 2 cards a turn for the rest of the game here. We already have Akaya's Wrath in hand, so maybe have a shot. Feeling like we're in a pretty good spot. Smothering Tithe plus treasure map does seem interesting. I feel like if I wanted to work around specifically Smothering Tithe plus treasure map, I would cut all of the alternative win conditions. The Banefires, the Revel and Riches, all of that should get out of here. I think I'd probably cut Chemister's Insight too and become more of a tap-out control deck based around Planeswalkers. I think I'd be interested in winning with Karn, Teferi, and Tezzeret would be the win conditions I would want to employ, because those are all win conditions that are useful when you're not ready to win the game. Because I think, like, four Smothering Tithes is probably too many, but I think, like, you could play some number of Smothering Tithe and, like, just genuinely have it be good as a way to feed your treasure maps. It doesn't have to be just meme. Yeah, like, Karn Structs are a great payoff for these pile of treasures, like the blue-red deck we just played showed. If we die here in this match, we'll actually be out of this league, and I'll be able to make some edits, and we can play some more. Banefire's goal is to serve as a win condition, Endo. I guess I keep that, because it saves me from dying to Pigeons next turn after Akaya's Wrath. So, like, I don't even know if I can keep this here, right? Because I feel like I just need more actual answers, right? It doesn't win the game. It wins the game during your upkeep. And in order to cast it so I can have it out during my upkeep, I have to... In order to cast it so I can have it out during my upkeep, I have to lose a bunch of treasures, which means I'm then not getting it back. Hey, no feel bads at all, Dude Light. I appreciate the support, and we'll draw it up and take a look at what I think the direction I would head in if I wanted to play like an Esper Smothering Tithe deck. Take a peekaboo. Because, like, Tithe plus Karn, Tithe plus Treasure Map, these seem like genuinely reasonable interactions.
Decision time.
Perfect. Now I'm drawing 3 cards a turn, basically.
Let's take it back.
So long rail. 4 cards if Teferi lives. I'm just assuming Teferi's going to die when I say 3 cards a turn. Banefire would be lethal here. And Banefire would have been better than this, right? Because it would have been more flexible. Banefire wins on the spot, whereas Revel you have to, like, untap with it, which makes it pretty exceptionally bad. If they flip 2 pigeons into play here, I'm not dead because I have Moment plus Cast Down, and then I get to draw a bunch of cards next turn. That's actually really true. I forgot Teferi can untap the maps. That's super funny. It's 6 cards with the draw step, right? So it's 4, 5, draw step is 6. So if we get a next turn, we're going to see infinite cards. Oh no, poor Teferi. Yeah, Mortify being very popular also hurts as well, I agree. Actually, I'm going to wait on this. Mana is not really it doesn't really matter in terms of efficiency. It's fine. Well, like I said, I wasn't expecting Teferi to live, so we're still drawing 3 cards a turn. Even if most of them are bad. Alright, if they flip all the pigeons into play, we're still not dead. Because I can kill... They need to flip 3 pigeons into play here to kill us. They only have 2 in their bin. So if they find a 3rd pigeon and a way to get them back, we could be in trouble. I'm going to Cast Down first rather than Mortify, because Mortify kills Nymph Visit, whereas Cast Down doesn't. And with our treasure situation, resource efficiency doesn't really matter.
Show me what you... The search for the unknown. That's real science.
That's real science. Alright. Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Do 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 do. Everybody's memeing for something. Do 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 do. And like again, if this was Banefire, they would die right now, right? So like instead, we now have to like hope we get to untap. Never played it. Yeah.
Well,
we're dead to 3 pigeons flipping into play here, or dead to double pigeon plus a shock. All right. Please be an animation. Please be an animation. Please be an animation. Did they concede or does it just make them go away? I'm so confused and kind of disappointed. Why wasn't there an animation, chat? I needed a sweet animation. That's all it does. It just literally makes them go away. What an incredible disappointment. There's no animation. That's incredibly sad. I'm gonna invite Revel and Riches to my funeral. Be a pallbearer and let me down one more time. It's just sadness. Sadness resolves. This card's unplayable. It doesn't even have a sweet animation. What are we doing with our lives? We already weren't certain if this card was playable. Now you're telling me it doesn't even have a good animation? Anti-Trumpet with the $25 tip. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Alright. That's a cry. Put some pigeons into play for me. In celebration of cashing my first Magic tournament, the standard 5K at the Hunter Burt Memorial Open. Here's the donation for the Esper mid-range build-around we talked about. 10 out of 10 will do, Trumpet. Thanks for the support. Hope you're having a good one. I would like to kill that one, please. Maybe I'm supposed to leave that one in play because it dies to cry. Yeah, maybe that's loose. I'm supposed to leave that in play because it dies to cry. It is the pigs all over again. I agree. The lack of animation on the big pig was also incredibly disappointing. Yeah, that cast down was bad. I should have saved the cast down for this Crackling Drake. Hopefully they put 3 pigeons into play here, and then we can tell them to Crimea River. The one that gives all your creatures +2/+2 in trample, it just literally doesn't have an animation. It's incredibly sad. Bye, friends. So, Drake's coming down this turn. I think I don't use the map because I want to Teferi tuck the Drake. Alright, so let's take a look at how I would build Smothering Tithe Esper with fewer memes and a little bit more focus. So, the meme win conditions just give you a little bit too much dirtle. I think I would cut these. I would trim one of these. I would get rid of these Chemist's Insights. The Banefire, like, might be fine in the sideboard. Karn's really good. Karn treasure map is, we referred to it as jank glue on this stream before. That's what it is. It's really, really powerful, and you should probably have a bunch of it. Tezzeret is also pretty reasonable. I wouldn't mind a couple copies of him. I feel like leaning in on a bunch of counterspells in the main deck is probably a miss. And I'd rather just have more spot removal to make sure I don't die against aggro. Something along the lines of this. Just like be a Planeswalker control deck similar to more traditional Esper with like Treasure Map and Karn as a way to be proactive. And then this gives us a couple of different ways to leverage Smothering Time that are otherwise playable cards. So like Karn, playable magic card. Smothering Tithe also works with Tezzeret to draw extra cards. It works with Treasure Map to draw 2 cards per turn to have an endless stream of treasures. So something more along the lines of what this is doing. Yeah, Dovin could be okay. Couple of Dovins as some other things to generate artifacts and stuff with. You can see that being okay. Zombie token with the $10 tip. Thanks for that. Look forward to your thoughts on a faster Sultai using Spawn of Mayhem. Will do, Zombie. Thanks for the support. Hey, Ken Shockley almost said something stupid in chat. Complimentary timeout, please. Thanks for the 3rd of a year, Ken. Welcome back. Yeah, Smothering Super Friends basically is the direction I would probably want to go. Something like this. Probably want some extra counter spells in the sideboard though. If I'm not going to have as many in the main. This seems fine. I've only been playing for like a half hour. Let's play a couple of matches with this edited one. Let's pop back in. Update the stream decker, all that jazz. Iterating new ideas is fun. Let's give it a go. If we can get on the scoreboard at least before we're done. We did win a game, Dude Light. We didn't win a match, but we did win a game. Oh, I didn't look at the mana. There's an Arch of Orazca in here. That's probably incredibly greedy. I'm just gonna kill their thing. Make sure their thing dies to start. Arc and Kaya's Wrath. We are playing a combo deck, to be fair. If they put a Jhin into play, obviously, we're just going to shock this in and Kaya's Wrath them. If they do nothing, we're just going to scry during the upkeep. What are we even looking for at this point? We're basically looking for, like, removal and counter spells, right? Yeah, counter sounds great, actually. No end step Trickster is great for us. Yeah, the Party Bus deck generates some sweet games of Magic Troll, for sure. Just good clean live-in. We're gonna have Esper Party Bus, I think, coming up tomorrow or Friday, after the bumps it had this morning. So, should be a good time. Alright, well, I mean, I guess this Kaya's Wrath is a card that I wanted to draw anyways, so I'm not too upset that it drew it, even though I wanted to scry during my upkeep. Yeah, 5-color decks just are... They're a tough sell in this format. You don't quite have, like, the Sylvan Curated quality fixing. I also don't think green really lends much to that archetype. Blue is sweet. I like blue. Can you explain the Party Bus archetype? Yeah, it's a deck that's built around playing the card, what's that card called? It's a deck that's built around playing, the Lumbering Battlement. Yeah, that's its name. I'd like to trade for 2 of your finest creatures. So I'm just gonna let this resolve. Because I have another Kaya's Wrath here. And ideally, I'd prefer to not have to crack my treasures to cast my counterspell. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. Maybe they commit something else to the board. Yeah, the problem is once you put the Explore package in there, you don't have room for the other colors. The Explore package takes a lot of slots. Like 2 and 3 color decks sometimes don't have room for the Explore package. Alright, so now I have to hope that they don't have double counterspell here. Okie doke. I already played a land for the turn, so there's no reason to really draw it now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass. Yeah, the Explore package is 12 slots. Huh. I feel about jamming Teferi here. Probably bad. I'm gonna jam Dovin. Let's jam Dovin. Dovin makes some nice little friends. Did I play a land yet this turn? I didn't, right? So I'm probably gonna crack this treasure to try and draw another land.
I'm impressed anyone would be chastised by injuries.
This encourages them to play commit Trickster to the board if they have it, so they can kill the Dovin. And if they commit Trickster to the board, I'll Mortify the Jhin. I think Banefire has potential to win a regional. Which format? I actually like it in both formats, I think. But I think it's better in Modern than Standard, but not by a lot. Standard. Yeah, I think the Banefire deck's reasonable. It's playing a lot of decent cards. We're going to try another iteration of it later today that's not playing the Explore package, most notably. Dovin is sweet. He encouraged my opponent to commit more to the board. Now they need double counterspell to beat this Kaya's Wrath plus negate. Goodbye, friends. 0% chance here. I play out Teferi into a Spell Pierce. There's no reason to play into that card. It's going to be a dead draw at this point. If I were to join a major standard tournament, what deck would I play? Probably Abzan Hero or Black-White Aristocrats would be my pick right now. Those are the two decks I've been enjoying playing the most. Hey, Grikachu, thanks for the entire year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Have a sword to go with your shield. I'm gonna go ahead and negate this. Getting my card advantage going sounds important. So I think if Teferi resolves, we like solidly make our way into garbage time here.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace.
Not just a gadget, but ingenuity.
Ingenuity. Dovin was quite excellent here. I like this card a lot. Although all the 3/4 mana Planeswalkers they come out with recently I think are really well designed. We played Bant Defender since the new set dropped. Yeah, I think we played it once. We definitely played it at least once.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, just like the... Dovin's the type of card that I like to refer to as just having a high floor. Like, the worst Dovin could possibly be is, like, still pretty okay. Yeah, I relocated elements on the stream because I wanted people to be able to see the game count for my opponent. Previously, when I had the ad banner in the top left here, it blocked that. So my picture here fits in nicely and you can still see it. There's a Smothering Tithe out matchup. A couple of Karns can come out here. A treasure map can come out here. Need one more cut here. I can't deal with this. Change is scary. Please help. Send help. Send help. What if I just get rid of all the Karns? Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of all the Karns and put this Lyra in, too. Karn's kind of hard to protect. He doesn't block for himself. I think all three of these other Planeswalkers are better than Karn in this matchup. Nice, Hawkeye. Yeah, the blue-white hero deck was pretty reasonable last time we played it. This hand is incredibly slow, and it needs to draw both lands and spells because it doesn't have a second white source. This is a pretty easy mulligan. This hand's super reasonable. I've got you, Omatic. Have a good one. Hopefully catch you later. We'll be here. I am going to leave that there. Obviously, I need to draw land at some point, but Kaya's Wrath's definitely what I want in this matchup. I'm going to start putting 4 Karns and 4 treasure maps in each of my brew and slowly phase them out as I perfect my deck. They will be my trading wheels. You're just going to find that they're just genuinely good in most shells, honestly. They're just good in so many spots. What's the most underrated deck in Standard? I don't know, that's super subjective. Generally speaking, I think underrated decks, especially in established formats like this one, tend to not be a thing that really exists. I think in formats like this that are pretty well developed, like we're pretty aware of like which decks are good and which decks aren't. I don't know, I've been pretty underwhelmed by most hero decks that aren't Abzan hero, and the Abzan hero deck it's fine, but like it definitely doesn't have a huge power level like Sultai. It's more of a finesse synergy deck, which tend to not generally be overpowered. We didn't lose a match, Marty. It was amazing. That's what you get for trying to make me play a dumpster fire, Marty. It was perfection. It was beautiful and it's worth watching. So far, it's the deck of the day. So far, it's the deck of the day. Have there been Rhythm of the Wild decks on stream? Yeah, we played a lot of Rhythm of the Wild early in the format. I just don't think that card's very good. I think in a lot of situations, it ends up being worse than Domri. Just because Rhythm of the Wild is a payoff card of sorts that needs other payoffs alongside it. If we get to stick either of these planeswalkers, we'll solidly be into garbage time. Even without sticking them for a couple turns, we're still pretty good here. Yeah, green-red aggro is a lot better without Rhythm, because green-red aggro is... it's a deck that plays to the board very quickly. So, like, by the time you get Rhythm out, you're already on the board, so it's just slow. I think the decks the decks that you want a Rhythm-style effect in, Domri just does it better. So I got punished for my sequencing on these planeswalkers. I probably should have led on Tezzeret because he's the worst one, but that also gives my opponent more chances to like draw their thing. We're hoping they don't draw Merfolk Trickster here, because if they draw Merfolk Trickster, they can tap my thing, kill my Tezzeret. I'm still ahead at that point because I have Kaya's Wrath, but I'm in a worse spot than I'd otherwise be if I still had a planeswalker in play. Regardless of who they attack here, me or Tezzeret, I'm chumping with this token. Just want to keep my health total high. Generally speaking, you want to chump block before you're dead, so that way your opponent can't like draw something that's like a removal spell, like my friends. And I think I just start using this as a draw to each turn, basically. So like until they have things I can't and need to block, I think we just draw 2. Yeah, I think we're solidly into garbage time here at this point.
I know how this ends.
I know how this ends. The stupid stops, man. At some point, we'll draw a Dovin, or we'll draw a Teferi, and then things will actually really run away with things. Got plenty of removal in the meantime. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Just Esper things. We'll kill them eventually. And that's one of the things the control decks in Magic do, right? Like, the time when they won the game and the time when the game actually ends, those are two different things. I would love to play first. The sand is reasonable, needs another black source, but okay otherwise. What do we bring in on blue-red treasures when we cut the Lanneries? I have no idea. I don't have a change log from what the initial deck submission was. Oops. I did not know I was muted. Thank you. Must have bumped the hotkey. So what I was saying there while I was muted was I missed my stop, and if I would have hit my stop, I would have been able to scry away this Kaya's Wrath and hit the Dovin a turn sooner, which would have been ideal. So looking for Mortifies. When you play the red-green Polyrunner deck that my friend built, will you say it's not as good as the blue-white hero deck? Yeah, I could probably manage that. Wonder if I'm supposed to lead on Dovin as bait here. Yeah, it's possible I'm supposed to lead on Dovin as bait here. I bet we're going to see a number of Planeswalkers, Nivik, that don't have emblems. Opponent trying to figure out if they want to pay for Smothering Tithe or not. This is definitely a matchup that's much worse for us game one than it is post-board when we get to, like, cut all these clunky sweepers and stuff out of our deck. Yep. Like to hit a land. I think we'll also probably see Planeswalkers similar to Karn that just, like, don't have an ultimate. Casting this now and giving me 2 more mana during my main phase here seems like a mistake.
This battle to your record of bad decisions.
No, restarting with Karn is the one way you get to get rid of emblems. I think Smothering Tithe might actually be worse if it made clues, Marty. Entering a sub-game also gets rid of emblems. Enter the Dungeon was my favorite casual deck back in the day. It was a real good time. Clues are artifacts that you can pay 2 mana and sacrifice to draw a card. Yeah, agree, Zach. Clues are great. Firm agree the clues are great. You know, I probably should have used my Cry of the Carnarium last turn and not the cast down. Because now I, like, have this Dovin that I, like, kind of want to protect. I'm just gonna Kaya's Wrath here. And then down tick Dovin. Hopefully they use the Chemist's Insight at my end of turn to give me extra mana. And then I can Mortify this Search for Azcanta before they flip it. Smothering Tithe is really sweet in this matchup. It generates a lot of mana advantage for us, which is reasonable, which is a good thing because, like, mana advantage is usually how these decks beat you. Game 1's a little awkward for us because we have a lot of awkward cards like Cry of the Carnarium and Kaya's Wrath that just don't have very good text box in this matchup, but post-board, when I get to, like, replace all these clunky removal spells with, like, just strokes and negates, we should have an okay time. Yeah, they eventually turn into card advantage via the treasure maps, too, which is nice. We might not get another turn here, though. This might be the end of the road for this game. Biogenic Ooze in the main deck. That's interesting. Man, I've just been super punished for the way I've sequenced my removal this patch. For this game. If my opponent has a Nexus of Fate here, they get to take a turn. Yep. Okie doke. Nexus decks give you a chance to reduce skill like juggling. Yep. I don't know if we're solidly in garbage time yet. I'm gonna make them take one more turn, I think. They don't have any consistent source of card advantage in play, so like garbage time against the Nexus decks usually means they have like Arch of Orazca or a Planeswalker or a flip Search for Azcanta. So until they have a way that consistently lets them see Nexus every turn, we're not really into garbage time. But if they just like have copies of Nexus of Fate in their hand, then we are going to be dead. Alright, so if they cast Nexus of Fate now, we're dead. But if they don't have Nexus of Fate, we could untap and draw Kaya's Wrath. We get a bunch of looks at it. Yay, magic! Interesting and entertaining. Alright, I actually probably want to leave a couple of Kaya's Wraths in, especially with their oozes in the main deck. Cry's bad, Cast Down and Moment of Craving are bad. Stroke, Negate, Duress. Thief of Sanity. It's pretty clean. Easy in, easy out. Let's do it. I did not leave Banefire in the sideboard. That probably wouldn't be a terrible fun of to have. Could maybe replace a Thief of Sanity with it. Although Thief's much better against these Nexus decks. This hand just doesn't do anything. Kaya's Wrath's not a card I really want in my opener. It's a card I want eventually. From the deck on Goldfish. You mean from the list that's linked to my deck queue? Yeah, Redigash. You can always find the current deck list that we're playing on the Stream Decker link on the web in chat or over on the overlay. Alright, well, now when they growth spiral into Reclamation, we can stroke it, so that's nice. For the people in chat that are discussing modern bans, I'd appreciate it if you cut it out. Please and thank you. Discussing modern bans is one of the most annoying things that exists in Magic the Gathering, because there's no objective data, there's no statistics that you can reference. It's just a bunch of people flinging poop at each other like monkeys, talking about their feelings. There are lots of things people hate in Modern. The format's not going anywhere. If you don't want to play against the things that suck in Modern, don't play Modern. That would be my advice to you. Sitting there hoping that Modern changes into a different format that you want it to be is going to just lead you to endless frustration. Either enjoy Modern for what it is now, or focus on Standard, or Legacy, or Limited, or one of the many other things in the format. One of my favorite sayings is Modern's one of the only decks that has only formats that has 60 playable decks in it, and everybody hates all of them. Ozzy Pants, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Am I okay with this? I don't think I am. I think because I have this Thief of Sanity in my hand, I want to just get rid of this. You want to just tuck that in? How's it going after edits? To set a bar that's low, it's doing better than we were previous, but we're only 2 matches in here.
Hurry.
I'm just gonna put the Smothering Tithe into play here. Getting some extra mana going would be really nice. I don't know. I'm pretty much of the opinion, sir, that like spending time and energy discussing things that you have no impact over, that only gets people upset and talks about things that people dislike, isn't productive. Like, spending time talking about things that you dislike, that the discussion can't actually have a meaningful impact on changing the things that you're upset with, doesn't really seem like a valuable use of time. Like, it's worth discussing things we don't like if we can meaningfully change them, but like, with something like the Modern ban list, you can't meaningfully change what's on that. You talking about it doesn't have an impact on what's on it, and it's just people focusing on the things that they dislike. So, like, I agree, it can be useful in life in general to talk about things that you dislike to work through it, but if you can't actually make a change, what you're discussing isn't really meaningful, because you're not having any impact on the outcome.
This will be over quickly.
We're looking for Mortifies, and their timing on these draw spells has been so weird.
Logic will always win.
Thanks, Skittle. Catch you later, Clown Punch. Have a good one.
I am Karn. How convenient. An excellent choice.
Oh, they made Tez draw an extra card too. That's funny. I didn't even think about that. we're probably dead here. And like this, honestly, this game's a great example of why people are talking about like all the Planeswalker decks that are going to exist next format. If your Planeswalker deck isn't incredibly aggressive somehow, these types of mid-range value decks are the exact type of deck that these Nexus combo decks prey on. These matchups are difficult to impossible for these fair mid-range decks that are trying to draw cards and generate value. Generally speaking, these matchups are basically impossible for this style of archetype. You like have disruption, but you don't have the pressure to go with the disruption, so eventually the efficient combo deck just plays through your disruption. Yeah, and even if you draw your Mortifies, right? Like then you draw your Mortifies, they draw creatures, like they just overload them. Their search for Azcanta eventually flip. They have so many enchantments and so many must counter, must kill things that like when you're not pressuring them in the middle, you're not actually doing anything meaningful. I mean, the opponent's just taking a little bit of extra time because they're doing their best to figure out, like, when can they afford to not give me treasure, which does add an extra layer to, like, what their deck is doing. Alright, so if they take another turn here, I'm going to concede, because if they take another turn, that means they're going to flip Search for Azcanta with double Reclamation, which means we're going to lose. Or not. Alright. One of your finest negates, please. I wonder if they forgot to put a stop on their end step and they clicked through it by mistake. I would not be surprised if they forgot to put a stop on their end step and they clicked through it by mistake. Hostage, thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good one.
How you respond to genius.
I'm gonna go ahead and tuck in this Search for Azcanta rather than let them flip it with all these Wilderness Reclamations in play. Reverse, 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 reverse. I do have plenty of mana at this point. Frilled Mystic. How about no? $0 subs are the best. Thanks for the 9 months, Hivemind. I appreciate it. That $0 sub for you turns into real bucks for me, so thanks for the support. Thanks for keeping me around. Wow, their hand is mediocre. So they actually didn't misclick. Their hand's just not good. Why do I care about Nizal? Yeah, this is game 2. We're down a game. Pay your dues. This is real Battleship magic, right? This thing's like not unblockable, right? Nizal gets us more treasures. It does, doesn't it?
I know what must be done.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Triggers. Karn trucks are hitting the gym, chat. Karn trucks are hitting the gym. Triggers. Coffee. Coffee's for closers, and this Karnstruck's getting himself a cup of joe, okay? Triggers. we might end up dying here just because they're drawing so many cards, but we're just missing a cranial plating. If they draw a Nexus of Fate, we're probably in trouble. This board state looks like something from Pacific Rim. Alright, this Karnstruck's gonna be lethal, right? Yeah, they do have a root snare, that's true. Basic land, thanks to the Twitch Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. How many cards left in their deck? 32. Is drawing optional? Draw a card. The drawing is not optional for Primal Tide. Huh. Giselle Power, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Revel and Riches actually wouldn't even be very good because it doesn't do anything until our following upkeep. I do wish I had Banefire in my deck. Banefire would be an excellent card to draw at the moment.
Brilliance comes easily to me.
Brilliance comes easily to me. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Do 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 do. I should have scribed with my map. Do 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 do. It didn't matter. Where's your thud? Yeah, I could play out another Tez and draw 2 more. I could play out more Planeswalkers. I'm gonna start by attacking. I probably want to draw a bunch more cards to find some counterspells, though. That's probably something I want to be doing. Yeah, like I have infinite mana, right? Borderline infinite mana. Triggers. I think I'm also going to take their Wilderness Reclamations off the table here. This morning, Big Mama.
I have faced worse than the likes of you. Oh.
I don't, why do I care about this card? Why do I care about this card? Can someone give me a compelling reason why I should care about this card? I should probably just plan to mortify these, huh? Do I want to do anything else? This Karn is, like, technically free. It lets them draw a card, but it only costs me 1 mana. I think I just mortify both Reclamations. The problem is they're pretty likely to draw another, right? Yeah, milling them doesn't seem necessary. I could play this other Karn out and, like, make another Karn struct. Holding Mortify for another Search for Azcanta doesn't seem bad either. They're through 2. I'm gonna do this so they can't just play one more creature and have me not have lethal. I think we're gonna lose this game, actually.
I battle for the fortune.
Doesn't seem like it bodes well for our hero.
Allow me to introduce you to a friend of mine.
I think I just pass. Yeah, I think I just want to keep Search for Azcanta off the table at this point. Yeah, there was a moment where I could have, like, played Teferi, chucked the Primal Tide, and then, like, mortified it in response to the trigger. I could have also just, like, taken it out of play for a little bit to cast a bunch of spells without them drawing cards, potentially, too. Them casting Nexus Effect doesn't really do anything until they have a win condition, though. Although I suppose if they hit, like, an Ooze, that's a win condition. And statistically, we're gonna get Nexus Evaded here. Oh. There's a deck list on your screen via the Stream Decker widget. You can also type ! deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. The Karn structs are large artifacts. You are not wrong. My turn. They could also just, like, have a Root Snare. I probably should have played the Thief of Sanity out last turn. Huh. I wasn't really prepared for that to just work.
If you show remorse, I'll show you. Let's skip to the good part.
Oh, I could have treasure mapped in there too. Wasn't thinking about that. Didn't matter. Awaken.
There's no accounting.
Am I supposed to just play this other Teferi out? How do you feel about just playing this other Teferi out? I think I like it. It lets me double untap Treasure Cove here too, which is ideal. Remember that I did this, yep. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. You know what? I'm not done.
Do we have any counter spells left? I don't know. Alright, so in response to this first one, I'm going to untap these. And then in response to the second one, I'm going to activate Treasure Cove to draw a card. Alright, I wasn't expecting to win that game. I wasn't expecting to win that game. That was a nice little surprise. Good quality present here. Easy game, easy life. I think we're good. I think we're gonna run it back. I don't think I want these other cards on the sideboard. Seems reasonable. We bored Nexus of Fate to death. we had a lot of money. Dollar bills, y'all. To take out the old bank account and smack him across the face with it. You spent more time in that one game than the entire two first matches with the first version of the list. What use is so much money if we can't revel in our riches? 1% of the decks have 50% of the treasures in the format. It's just wrong. Sand sounds great. Treasure map into Thief into Karn. Let's do it. So all you need to beat Nexus is 8 Planeswalkers and 4 36/36s. I'm glad you got that as the takeaway. I agree. Lots of 36/36s. We didn't see any copies of Sinister Sabotage out of my opponent, which, okay, they have growth spells. Because it means they can't counter this Thief of Sanity most likely, but it looks like they're gonna have Frilled Mystic available. That's unfortunate. I think I'm still supposed to just head to the Space Jam here. I'm gonna be sad when we get Frilled Mystic, but that's what it is. Quench. Interesting. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. Yep. Quench is terrible against our deck. I mean, Quench is terrible against everything past turn 5 or 6. So, like, as an early counterspell, it's fine. Yeah, I was gonna put this into play tapped here. Frilled Mystic makes our Planeswalkers a lot worse for sure. That's true too. You can bin Quench to Chemist's Insight. This is a big reason. You can also filter past it with Search for Azcanta. Dear Tefafa, be our guiding light. And by that I mean get Frilled Mystic. You silly goose. Ooh. Ooh, Teferi. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it again. I don't have Banefire in my deck. There's a deck list on your screen. Please type exclamation point deck in chat to get a link to the deck list, etc., etc. Looking for a Disdainful Stroke or a Negate here, so that way we can play this Kaya's Wrath with the counterspell up.
Stop that now.
Can you explain why you don't think Dovin is great? I always encourage people to post constructive and specific feedback rather than just crapping on card choices. So if you think a card's not good, tell me why you think it's not good and what card you think we could or should be playing instead of it and why you think that card's better.
No time for a break.
Help people learn. Don't just say, hey, your card's bad. Say, hey, this card doesn't seem ideal and this is why it maybe doesn't seem ideal. The deck list on stream does not reflect sideboard choices. We are dead. The deck list on screen says there's one on the board, does it? No, that's not the button I wanted to press. I wanted to go look at the board. Alright, I guess we're playing one more. Does it? Maybe we do have one? I don't remember. Maybe we do have one. The deck list widget is not a deck tracker. It is just the current deck list that shows the main deck and sideboard separately. Sure. I guess I should technically lean on one of these black dual lands because I have Glacial Fortress that comes into play untapped without hurting me. Ugh, is this another Nexus matchup?
On the shoulders of your impending failure.
Oh, fish. Okay, interesting.
There is elegance in simplicity.
Unfortunately, we don't have a play this turn, which kind of sucks. They also didn't have plays for the first 2 turns, though, so it's probably okay for us overall. They have Spell Pierce or Counter Spells in their main. This is going to be a tough time for us. Just got home and started watching. It's the idea to use something like Tithe plus map. Yeah, that's exactly it, Time Lord. Just to leverage those cards to create card advantage. It might be right to play one of these other two planeswalkers first, because it felt like that was likely a counterspell there.
Excellent timing.
Ended up not being. I wonder what they're holding exactly here. It's weird that they didn't attack with Kumena. Thanks, Wolfie. That was the goal of swapping it around a little bit. I'm gonna leave. Oh, I wonder if they have Merfolk Trickster. It still doesn't explain why they didn't attack with this though. They still should have attacked with this. Yeah, Revel Enrich is just a great example of a 5-mana card that doesn't impact the board. And, like, it requires a lot of setup, and then you have to wait till your upkeep to do it. Maybe my opponent's having some connection issues. They're currently burning a timeout at a spot that doesn't really make sense to burn a timeout. Yeah, maybe they're playing around Seal Away. I don't know. Maybe they're also just... I don't know. I don't want to speculate. There's a lot of random decks in these events sometimes, so... Yeah, a lot of the white decks that want removal are aggressive in this format. So they tend to lean on Baffling End more than Seal Away. Deep Root Champion. That's a weird card for your Merfolk deck, because this card explicitly wants you to play non-creature spells, whereas like a lot of your other Merfolks want to encourage you to play fish. What event are we playing? The 1,000 gold constructed event. The decks that I don't want to play on the ladder, but we still want to play matches with, we've been playing in the 1,000 gold constructed events. Which has actually been resulting in me earning gold faster, which is sweet. So I'll have to put less money in at this next set. I might not actually have to put any money in at all. I think I've got like 1,500 gems from the last time I put dollars in. What decks do I use in the ladder? More proven deck list, tiered things that I've played and I know I feel are reasonable. Heyo, Black Dragon, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm gonna go ahead and downtick Dovin and then play Tezzeret. Draw 3 cards here, or 2 cards here. Yeah, I think there's probably a good chance my opponent is a newer player who's a little bit inexperienced. I'm going to hold these back for chump blockers. Ideally, I want to keep as many of my planeswalkers alive as possible, so I can untap and play Kaya's Wrath next turn. We're 1-1 in this constructed event, so some of the deck quality can be a little bit middling sometimes when you're in the early. Unlike the ladder that pairs you based on your rank and your MMR, the constructed events pair you based on your record. There isn't any internal ranking system that it tries to use. Big Wing, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, 5 mana 2/1. Yep. They could unblockable Kumena and kill Dovin here, but like I've still got 2 other planeswalkers. It's really not a big deal. And Karn will be joining in soon.
I know how this ends.
The small things that matter.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Oh no, we have to discard cards. That's unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, Hey, Winford, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate it. At certain points, like last season, we lost enough matches in the ranked queue that, like, the things we were playing against in the ranked queue weren't that dissimilar to, like, what we're playing against here.
You're still one step behind. We need to move quickly.
I am Karn.
I am Karn. What are we digging for? I don't know. Cards? Removal spells?
By a good assault.
We're gonna start making things at this point to put power and toughness into play to kill them. We'll probably like down tick, up tick, make another Karn struck, play another Karn, make another Karn struck, and kill them very quickly. Also, like, Teferi's at 8, right? So, like, he's gonna ultimate and just get rid of their stuff. Actually, next turn we probably ultimate Teferi and then just draw cards and exile their board. We're digging for the opponent's concession. I don't even know what we're looking for. Smothering Tithe because it's funny. I guess now I'm looking for a second Teferi.
With each turn of the clock, your reality will crumble.
I am in fact wearing a Neo Bar shirt. They sent me some stuff. There's a picture of the bar on the back of it too. Which the kids got a kick out of. They're like, you have a candy bar shirt. Yeah, I'm really confused as to what could possibly be in their hand.
There is great power in the things we make.
Small example of my genius.
Hey, Ewok, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I miss emergency powers. How is the DX Racer? It's fine. Fine is about my assessment. It's a chair. It's a little bit narrower than the office chair I was using previously. Why no attacks? Because if you kill your opponent, you have to stop drawing cards. There's someone who gets it. There's someone who understands. Please stop. Please stop. Alright, fine. We'll kill him with the Karnstrucks. It's a disappointing end, though.
Don't mind if I enjoy this.
Play the second Tezza, draw 2 more, punted. Should have gone for the flawless victory. Hey, they could have Root Snare here, right? We keep talking about cards they could have. They could have Root Snare. Nope, not Root Snare. Got it. Oh no! I missed the offer for biddies. I totally would have taken that. Rats! Cost myself some money by not going for the perfects. Punted. Could have gotten paid. Big punts. All right. Extra removal, extra sweeper. Lyra sounds fine. Clicks a bit. No, you can see. We did swing for 22. We do get the flavor win there. This hand needs to draw spells, but it also needs to draw lands because it can't cast Cry, so we're going to go ahead and mulligan. Sign me up. Bottom that. Does it still count as a flawless victory if they concede with 0 permanents? Definitely. 10 out of 10. We did ultimate Teferi. We ultimated Teferi, and then we drew a bunch of cards with Tezzeret. Yes, because they have 0 permanents and 0 will to live. Alright, if they have, let's commit a speaker. Digging for a 5th land here so we can curve Wrath into Teferi. Perfect. Bye, friends. And then Teferi will get to untap 2 lands. We'll have Cast Down up in case they play a creature this turn. Garbage time. Garbage time. Do 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 do. The game is ended, but we're not going to kill them for like 12 more turns. That's how this works. I appreciate you, opponent. Alright, so after an 0-2 with the first configuration, we ended up going 2-1 with that, losing a close set to the Nexus of Fate deck. Overall, just like this core is like super reasonable. So like once we cut kind of the cute stuff of the Revel in Riches and just like focused on playing more reasonable Magic cards, we basically wanted to slot Smothering Tithe into a deck where we already had payoffs for the treasures that were reasonable cards on their own. So like when your payoff for Smothering Tithe is like Karn and Treasure Map and Tezzeret, this is better than playing something like Revel in Riches, because when you don't draw Smothering Tithe, Treasure Map, Karn, and Tezzeret still have text boxes. So basically you want to minimize your number of cards that have to have synergy to be good when deck building, and want to play cards that are good on their own, but are extra good when the synergy options come up. So they're just flexible in more situations, as opposed to either being a 10 that wins you the game or a 0 that does stone cold nothing. Want to get something that's a little bit more in the middle, like a card that's like, you know, a 5 or 6 on its own, to randomly, arbitrarily assign numbers to things. All right, I'm gonna restart Arena really quick here before we move on to the next one, before the audio bug happens. Thanks everyone for hanging up. Everyone's having a great Wednesday wherever you're at. Thanks for dropping in here today. I'm gonna cut the line for Abzan Heroes. I'm gonna go ahead and get that loaded up. Hopefully have a good set. This is one that we're going to play on the ladder, hopefully climb up a little bit with. It's one of the decks that I've enjoyed playing in this format. I think it has a lot of play in a lot of different places. I am going to run to the restroom really quick, and when I get back, we're going to dive into some matches with this. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out. I need a boost to convince me to go to the gym. Convince me going to the gym is important today. Going to the gym is always important. Exercise feels good.